Hello, hello. My name is Morel O'Kane. I am author, um, show host, brand ambassador of the Hair Debate, author of Seven Love Languages of Hair, and the founder of the Hair Debate as well as Sweet Morality Salon Suites. So, welcome to my show here. I am with Dr. Asir, and I tell you, Dr. Asir, how are you doing today?
I am fabulous. I am amazing. I am wonderful. Yes.
And you look it. Let me just say that you absolutely look it. And so let me just say this: that piece back there in the back is absolutely yes, it is. That's beautiful.
You see it? Yes. It's called
It's
what it's called What Do You See? So someone may look at
oh,
this and see their third eye. Someone may look at this and see the yin and the yang. They may see the chakras color. What do you see when you see this? And how does it reflect to you? If you focus on,
ah,
do you have balance in your life? Do you need balance in your life?
I like that.
Amazing. That piece came to me. You are in a home that I manifested. Um,
Wow.
that piece came to me in a dream a couple of years ago, and yeah, it's been amazing. Every time I see it, I'm like, wow! It came out
No,
of it was wow.
no, it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Is that something that you purchased?
No, it came out of healing. Believe it or not,
Wow.
I've never been a painter or someone that would create art. However, over
Mhm.
violence, I took a sip and stroke class one night and I
Wow.
realized I liked it. And I had a friend who bought me canvas and paints, and he said, just go and just do what you feel like you need to do to heal. And as I would cry,
Wow.
I would paint and I would create. And I tell my clients all the time that when you find something that you can redirect that negative energy,
Mhm. Yes.
co-creator, you are taking it from your mind, you are working it through your hands, and then you are co-creating it into the physical.
Beautiful. I absolutely love that. And I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to tap into my artistic abilities and see
I,
what I can create. And we'll,
yes,
we'll
I
see.
try something different, try something new. You never know until you try it, right?
Right. So I tell you guys, we have before us Dr. Asir Newby, and she is an award-winning certified life coach, podcast host, actress, author, and domestic violence survivor. Let me tell you something powerful.
Mm.
That is absolutely powerful. And so when I tell you, you truly took your experience and look what it expelled you to be. Okay, it now were you a certified life coach or looking into coaching prior to your trauma?
Prior to the trauma, I've always had people to come to me for advice. They would
Okay.
come and talk to me. What do you think I should do? Um, Family members, friends, sometimes just meeting people and just feeling that spirit, that connection to be
Mm,
able to walk up to someone and say, you know what? This is what I'm feeling. Are you okay? You're going to be okay. Someone says, I needed to hear that. But being able to take your own personal experience and take
yes.
someone else by the hand and then coach them along, be their cheerleader. It was life changing for me when someone did it for me. And
Mhm.
so then when I got the opportunity to get my certification as a life coach, on top of having a master's in Christian counseling and communication, and
Okay.
also having a license as a minister, being able to achieve those things added to being
Yeah.
able to coach someone along when they're going through trauma, when they are trying to establish certain goals, and they get to a point and they say, well, you know what, I don't think I can do this, or I
Mhm.
want to give up. No, let me take you by the hand and let me encourage you. Let's do this together. Let's be a team.
Yes. So let me say this, Dr. Asir. In a season where so many people, are wanting to be coaches, So everybody wants to be a coach. But now, would you say that having the experience, like you just said, to hold someone's hand and say, okay, because I went through these steps of healing, of pressing through, of your higher being that you were just speaking of, you actually walk through those steps. And would it be easier than to help someone else when you've been through it yourself?
I find it that I can relate better
Okay.
if I'm listening to someone, and this is not always the case. This
Okay.
is for me. If I'm listening to someone and they've never been through anything, for me, it's
Mhm.
how can I can't really relate to you.
Yes.
If you say to me, I've experienced this and this is how I made it through, I seem to relate to you a little bit better. Now it's going to be different for everyone. Some
Right.
someone can receive something from a person who has never experienced, had lived the perfect life, white picket fence, big house, all the desires that they want. But I find for me, I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The same way you and I are having this conversation right now, if I take the time to show up, I need you to take the time to show up and be ready. We're walking this journey together. And that means I'm going to be transparent enough with you to say, yes, I know what it's like. Yes, I've been there. Yes, I've
Mhm.
experienced this. That makes me relatable to you. And that makes you acceptable to be able to say to me, I'm going to open up to you. I'm going to be transparent with you also because we're building that trust.
Absolutely. And with that, let me just say our topic today, we are going to dig deep into mental illness. Okay. The insights behind that and what it takes to conquer through it. And so I tell you, um, so many people, and when I just say we're talking about old and young, we're talking about men and women, battle through mental illness, and so it's not, it has no regards unto the person. We all will or may have, I mean, that is something to deal with. And so I would never wish that on not a person, but many of us come across that. And so can you define, Dr. Asir, mental illness and what it looks like?
Mental illness is something that a condition that's debilitating. Now, let
Okay.
me say this also. Let me just make this clear. When I'm not able to diagnose mental illness. So
Okay.
let that a life coach is not able to
Mhm.
diagnose mental illness. That would be your counselor, that would be your therapist, that would be your psychologist, or um, a mental health physician.
Mhm.
That's who can diagnose mental illness. A life coach can help in the process because remember, it's total body healing.
Yes.
It's called TRA renewed mind because we all have to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And if our mental is off, it debilitates us from thinking clearly, from being able to live our healthy lives. Someone who is experiencing mental illness may exude outbursts, anger, or if it's anxiety,
Mhm.
they could experience that in certain situations. Someone experiencing mental illness may not want to get out of bed, and if they don't want to get out
Yes.
of bed for days, or they don't want to talk to anyone, they don't want to eat. That person may need to see a counselor, a therapist, or some type of mental health physician.
Yes.
Who has a situational mental illness may can benefit from someone like a mental health life coach or a life coach that is specialized, their specialty is helping mental illness or depression or anxiety. That's the big difference. So I just wanted to say that during the pandemic in 2019, 51.9 Americans experienced some form
Wow.
of mental illness. That is an alarming number.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those causes was due to, of course, pandemic,
Yeah.
losing a job, um, seeing people pass away all around them.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those people may not need a physician. They may not need to be on medication for the rest of their life. What they may need is say, okay, how can I transition?
Yeah.
How can I have someone assist me with setting goals, helping me be accountable, and then
Mm-hmm.
helping me empower myself to be able to make decisions that will accommodate me through this situation? And so mental illness can look like different things in different people in different ways. But as a life coach, we help the situational aspects of mental illness.
Okay, Dr. Asir, I tell you, thank you so much for giving us clarity on that. And you definitely stated some things, like you said, mental illness affects how you interact with people. You know, it affects, anger issues, you know, that you that can easily be transferred to your children,
It
you
can.
know. And so now you stated some things in your bio that was very interesting to me. Okay. Hurt people hurt people.
True.
Okay. But now, help people, but helping people in the same vein helps people heal divinely, equipped to healing others. And so that is very true. Hurt people, they actually do hurt in other individuals.
They do because they have not resolved the issue within themselves. So if we have not resolved our own issues, as you stated, it's a transference of energy.
Okay.
So now I'm not going to deal with my problem because, especially, let me say this, in the African American community, they think it's taboo to get some type of counseling or some type
They
of
do.
help, as opposed, and so they deal with the issue internally, never resolving the issue. So that internal issue that they're dealing with, now I'm going to transfer that on someone else because, of course, I don't have a problem. You're the problem. It's not me, it's you. That
Mhm.
person is not ready to accept that they need to heal from within. And when we do offer to say, okay, let me just sit here and let me just go get this consultation and see. Yeah, that did happen to me when I was younger. Yeah, my mama did say that. I have some clients that limiting beliefs have affected them their whole life. Being
Wow.
told, and of course, I've known this personally from being a survivor, being told you're not good enough.
Mhm.
Someone being told, oh, you can't go to college. You're never going to be anything. You're going to be just like your dad. Women tend to say that a lot. You're going to be like your dad. Well, then the young man looks at their father and says, you know what, if I'm going to be like my dad, let me be like my dad. So if
Right.
dad is in and out of jail or he's an abuser, they tend to have that belief in their mindset and never change it until they say, you know what, maybe I need to go see someone because I need to change this belief that I feel within myself. And in changing myself, I can change my outer self and how I interact with people. We all have experienced that. Have you ever experienced something that what we call a limiting belief in your life that carried you through your whole life and affected you? Have you ever?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Again, when you're told, being a teenage mother, you know, um, how can you be successful in your life? You know, how who will want you with three children?
Yes, yes,
you know and then there's a lot of doubt there, especially when you're doing it alone.
yes,
So I was very fortunate to have my family beside me, but everyone does not have that. And so your entire future, you don't even think about a future, you know? And so, but then also too, um, is not being true to yourself when you realize, okay, I have this problem. And you are not being true to yourself, making excuses behind everything. Again, as you stated before, it's always somebody else's fault. You can't grow behind that. There is no growth when there's no truth behind and before it. So absolutely. Wow.
You said a mouthful right there. When there's no truth, we all have to own our truth in
Mhm.
order to heal. You know, um, I love that aspect of being able to talk with someone and ask them the right questions. Well, why do you feel this way? Why do you think that happened? It makes them think about it, and if no one ever makes you think about it, it's almost like a reflection in a mirror. If you never really look at your reflection in the mirror and have that conversation with yourself, you're not going to have it with anyone else. You're not going to, you're not.
Absolutely. I love the hashtag that you have here. We are resilient. Oh, I absolutely love that. Can you elaborate on that, Dr. Asir?
Yes. As a survivor of domestic violence, um, I didn't feel very resilient when I was going through that situation. I
Mhm.
didn't. I I was one of those people that couldn't understand why it was happening. How do you give yourself to someone and you become vulnerable to someone, and then they want to hurt you, so like you said, hurt people. But if you're on the opposite end, you begin to say, well, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? What was it about me? So you take that and then you redirect that onto yourself. But when you're resilient, you stay in the fight and you say, no, it's not me. Let me figure out what was it that made me believe that it was me. And then you start working on those issues and you start working on yourself. One of the things that I did, and I teach my clients this, is I had to look at myself every day. I had
Yeah.
to have that conversation, and I had to speak to myself and say, no, baby girl, you are beautiful. You are successful. You created these businesses. I'm a multiple entrepreneur. You created these businesses. No, forget what they say. Did that person just say you'll never lose this weight? Baby. So, so I had to have that conversation. And then when I emerged beyond it, I said, wait a minute. If I can do it, someone else can do it. We all are resilient. If we keep going, if we keep pushing forward, if we keep making those strides, you can move forward through anything. You can create your best life. I'm an example of
Yeah.
you can co-create your best life. Trust
Mhm.
me, I am a living example. I haven't even touched the surface of my story, but you're looking at a true testament of resilience. No matter how hard they keep coming, let me tell you, you hold your
You
head up,
walking and weave.
don't stop. You know what I mean? You duck. But let me tell you something. Resilience is being able to stay in the fight and say, hey, I'm going to win this. I am a winner. I am everything that I declare and decree that I am, because that was the commission that was given to me, to say that I can speak over myself and I can declare and decree a thing and it will happen. It will be. It is so. Hey, you hear what I said?
Don't get me to shouting.
Is so. It is so. So yes, you are resilient. Whoever is watching this and need to know that you can make it, baby, let me tell you something.
You
This is
better say it.
the life coach coming out of me. When you come to my room, you're gonna get pepped up just like this. You are who? Resilient. You do what? I got this. Now go ahead and speak those affirmations in the mirror and let's make this day work.
Okay, you better say that. You better say that. You know what? That mirror is so important and it actually helps you to come out and be true to yourself. If you cannot stand before anybody else, you get in front of that mirror, and it helps you to develop and see the truth that's in you. Now, how did your spirituality help you with that?
Well, and I'm glad you say spirituality, because I don't say that I am religious. I don't.
Yeah.
To me, religious is like putting myself in this box of saying I belong to this denomination or this denomination. Now, that's just for me. That
Yes.
I am a spiritual being. I come from spirit, and when this flesh is gone, I will return to spirit. I am
Yes.
connected to everything that we see. If I go out here and I plant in this garden a tomato and I eat this tomato, I'm eating of the earth, and it is a part of me. The minerals I take in, the vitamins I take in, the sun, that I sit out that gives me the vitamin D. I am connected. And so meditation for me played a big part.
Okay.
Meditation allowed me to be still and be able to hear my mind, be able to think. Yes, I do meditate. I speak sometimes when I meditate, but after I meditate and I go through that session and I'm visualizing what I want for my day and how I want my day to be, there's nothing that can change that. Any form of negativity that tries to come its way to me, I take a minute, give me 5 minutes. Even if you're in an office, give me 5 minutes, and then go to the bathroom and take that second to woosah, breathe, and remind yourself, I got this. I am in control. We are all a product of our choices. Believe it.
Yes.
There are people that say, well, I didn't choose that person to be here. Yes, you did. Yes. You could have said no, but you did make that choice. Now,
Yes.
to empower you to make better choices, to think about your choices. If you quiet your mind and be still, you'll hear yourself. You'll hear that
Mhm.
still small voice say, okay, you have this way to go or you have this way to go. And then if you feel a calmness about it, then that should say something to you. It should resonate to you. Peace that surpasses all understanding,
Mhm.
everything. And so my peace and being able to be still by myself and being able to meditate, being able to ask for what I want, being able to trust that I deserve to have it, that was everything to me. Everything. You have a phenomenal story, Morale. When you talk
Wow,
about
thank you.
air, I was in a situation whereas, and the person doesn't get my platform, but the story has to be told to help someone else. So let me,
Mhm.
when I was sitting on the sofa after being choked and being choked again, and I had lost my hair by this time. And the person said, oh, let the world see the model that used to be in all the magazines. Take your wig off so I can take a picture and post it all over social media. It was the most humiliating thing for me because at that time, the stress of it all caused me to lose my hair.
Mhm.
Being able to tell someone that you too can come out of this,
Yes.
you too can heal from this. As you said yourself, Morale, I am not my hair. It's deeper.
Mhm.
I am a spiritual being. It says that I am made in the likeness of the Creator and that
Is.
I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. No question about that. Every day, someone should tell themselves that they are fearfully and wonderfully made, no matter what they are going through.
You know, Dr. Asir, when I tell you, and I totally thank you for allowing me to be on your podcast, on your show, to share my story. You know, when I developed the brand, the hair debate, um, it was, for me, it is bigger than just getting on a platform and talking about the correct way to bump a curl, to flat iron the hair, to install extensions. For me, I was seeing individuals that was battling hair loss where it started from the internal.
Yes.
You can't buy a product to fix that. And so I realized in order for me to help women to battle their hair loss, which in turn would take them through anxieties, the trauma,
Yeah.
we had to fix that before we can even come up with a regimen, a strategy for hair care and growth. And so I tell you, when we talked, and now let me just say, being with you that hour, it was a coaching session for me. So guys, when I tell you that you can benefit from having interaction and conversation in sessions with the life coach, but you definitely we sat down and we talked about the terminology that I coined, dysphoria. And guys, if you do not know what that is, the terminology is using hair pieces in or weave to camouflage pain, trauma, or faith in oneself, which creates a false security and restricts from managing stress. So I say all of that to say basically wearing a mask.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's so easy to get caught behind that because it's the false security. You put it on and it's like, oh, I'm strong, I'm good. Uh, you know, you're not truly dealing with the problem.
Exactly. 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 What you just said was amazing. It's exactly. We're not dealing with the problem. We are wearing that mask, we're covering it up, and it goes back to saying, if I can internalize it and I can
Yeah.
just, nobody's gonna know. What as that what a little TikTok thing, who's gonna know?
I'm gonna have to use that. Yes.
But you know when you come home and you take your hair off, or you have to lay down and you look in the mirror, and then that depression kicks in.
Yes.
You know you know you know you, you, that means you're just walking around still holding it in. And it is important to seek help. What you're doing, morale, and talking to these women and helping them, that's in essence coaching and devising a plan. When someone sits in your seat
Yes.
and they're saying, my hair is falling out and I don't know why, and you say to them, let me take a look at it, and this is what we're going to do, and this is going to be our plan, and the next time you come, this is what we're going to do. Okay, and then that person comes back, and then they come back and they see you, and you say, okay, I can tell you've been doing this and I'm proud of you. Now they're feeling a little better to keep going. And then you turn around and you say again, okay, well, this is what we're going to do next. And then they come back and they say, oh my God, I got edges and I'm or my hair is growing. And then the next time they come back and you said by week 5, this is where we should be. And you see where they're doing and they're moving. You've given that person that resilience. You've given that person that motivation to keep going on. You've come up with the problem, you've come up with the plan, and you have helped them. You are coaching this from from the chair, the seat
Right.
that they're sitting in while
Yes.
you're doing that. You're doing that. And then when you see the end results, change takes place. And
That.
carry it on. I love this term. They have emerged beyond that situation. And when it happens again, they don't feel that anxiety. They don't feel that depression because you've given them a formula. It's the same thing with life coaching. It's the same thing that I do. When someone comes to see me, we know what the problem is. We sit down and we figure out a way to set the goals. Now let's create our strategy. And now let's do our sessions. But I'm going to hold you accountable, because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because we're in this together. We're a team. We're a team, all of us.
Yes.
Body, soul, spirit, from the hair to the bottom of our feet. We
Mhm.
are a team. Psychologists, sociologists,
Mhm.
doctors, nurses, life coaches, therapists. I have clients that are therapists that actually come to me because they want to get a work life balance. They have so many clients that working all the time, they don't know how to have fun. So let's devise a plan and let me hold you accountable. It works. We all work together for the common good of each other. And that's what we keep doing.
Absolutely. Oh my God. You are absolutely correct. And you know, f- again, if a therapist, which is certified, to say, okay, I need to seek help. When they say, then us as individuals, Black individuals, we have to be able to say, it's okay for me to say I have a problem.
It is.
It's okay for me to seek help.
It is.
It's okay for me not to be well at this moment. It won't always be forever, but for today, I feel this way,
Yes.
and so it's okay to say, okay, let me reach out and let me lock arms with somebody that can see me through this today.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, you are absolutely correct.
Mhm.
So now, um so when I tell you, for me, you made it so very comfortable, being on your podcast, um your on your truth on your truth podcast.
Well,
Okay, that right.
the TRA Renewed Mind is the new podcast. I was on that podcast with someone else.
Okay.
TRA Renewed Mind is the one that we had you on.
Okay.
And with that one, it actually has the same name as the life coaching business, TRA Renewed Mind. And if you have to guess, TRA stands for the real is here. The
Yes, yes.
one, the only, the real, the renewed mind. As again, I love it because it's transforming your mind. And morale, what you had to do was you had to transform your mindset in order to get up and move and do what you're doing today.
Absolutely, but it was not always easy for me to talk about my story. And so actually, being on your show and sharing that on the show and having that dialogue with you absolutely helped me, to actually stand up, even sharing it when you released it. And I was just like, wow, Father, I was truly thankful for the opportunity, you know. Now we have a question here. And So Ms. Brackett says, forgive me if my question is insensitive, okay? But I thank you for asking the question
Yes.
because no question is crazy. How can we tell the difference between mental illness and laziness? That's a great question.
Ooh,
That's a
great question. That's a great question. Mental illness is something that will require a doctor or a physician or someone in a specific specialty to be able to diagnose. And the key word here is diagnose that there is a problem there. Now, we could say that there's laziness. Let me just say that. We could say, oh, this person is laying around all day long. They don't want to work. They don't want to get a job. They need to get off my sofa. And this person, we can say is lazy. But what's the reason behind it?
yes.
What's the reason behind it? If there is a deeper reasoning as to why they don't want to get up and get out of bed, they might need to see someone to see if they have a mental illness.
Ah, great answer. Thank you again, Ms. Brackett, for your question because that was a great
It-
question. I mean, again, being on the outside,
Mhm.
looking in, you can come up with all types of reasons
Yeah,
and excuses.
yeah.
But again, only you can be real and true to yourself. And that's going to help with the growth process.
Mhm.
I tell you. So, Dr. Asir, do you have any last minute words that you would like to share?
No, well, yes, other than just how great it was to meet you, um, and having you on the podcast, TRA Renewed Mind, on all the podcasting stations, whatever you listen to, I am on there. Being able to have prayer with you at the end of the interview, that's what people didn't see. They don't see through the podcast how powerful it was. Oh my gosh.
No.
Just at the end, having you release and feel comfortable enough with me to be able to share some of the things that you shared. And then it was so powerful in the room
Yeah,
that when
it
we were,
was.
it was so quiet and it was prayerful, and even the men in the room that is amazing. That is amazing to me. And it was wonderful. And I thank you because that was confirmation for me that I am walking in my purpose. We do offer those sessions as well. If someone wants to know if they're walking in their purpose, we have a actual course for that. December 1st, I'll be launching my online courses as well. TRArenewedmind.com. Say that one more time. TRArenewedmind.com. December 1st, we're going to have a master course that's going to be there. We're going to have individual courses, some journals. All of that will be launching December 1st. Make sure you check out the podcast, TRA Renewed Mind, on all your podcasting stations. And if you want a free 30-minute consultation with me, just go to trarenewedmind.com and on the button that says consultation, or call my toll-free number that's there. And I do answer my toll-free number.
And let me just say, if you guys did have not caught the interview that we had that I had with Dr. Asir,
Yeah.
definitely we have that on. The link is at the bottom here at the banner. Okay, through our heart, definitely check it out. My 21-year-old son, Dr. Asir, when he listened to it, he said that shot fire through me, mom. And
Are you
he shared it. No,
serious?
no, no, very. And he shared it on his platform. 21 years old. And so again, do not hide your story. If you have a story to share, you could contact Dr. Asir for that as well. Because again, I don't, even if it helps one person,
Yes.
for me, it is, if it helps one person, you know, definitely connect, your sessions. Dr. Asir is here. I thank you so much for your time.
I thank you.
You know,
Thank you for
you
your
know, I
time, everything. I thank you.
I send love and blessings to you, Dr. Asir.
Thank
Yes, and again, my name is Morello Kane. You guys know, thank you so much for being, for sharing, for liking, for loving, and for your comments. Okay, again, we will post Dr. Asir information here. My name is Morello Kane. This is the Hair Debate, the platform where we debunk, debate, and discover all things hair.
you. Yes.
Have a great one, Dr. Asir.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, bye bye.